Dear students, welcome back to another video lecture on the course Signals and Systems with course code 18EC45. In the previous video lecture, we defined Z transform and inverse Z transform and introduced the term region of convergence and understood when the Fourier transform for a discrete time signal exists by inspection on the Z plane. For a discrete time sequence x of n, Z transform is defined as x of z equals to summation n minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z to the power minus n. On the summation, there are only two terms, input sequence x of n and the z variable which we define as r e to the power j omega in the Z transform. So for Z transform to exist or for summation to have finite value, the only parameter dependent is the value Z. Now the value of Z for which the summation will be having a finite value are called as region of convergence, or the value of Z for which the summation will be absolutely summable are called as region of convergence. In today's video lecture, we'll discuss convergence of the Z transform and we'll try to obtain the Z transform of some general signals and then define the region of convergence based on the Z transform of those general signals. And lastly, we'll discuss the properties of the region of convergence. Now, convergence states that the existence of Fourier transform can be concluded if the region of convergence of the Z transform is given by summation n minus infinity to plus infinity magnitude of the signal x of n multiplied by r to the power minus n. If this summation is less than infinity, then Fourier transform exists, and Fourier transform will be equal to Z transform, that is x of e to the power j omega will be equals to x of z when z will be equal to e to the power j omega, or when r will be equal to 1. If region of convergence does not include the unit circle, then Fourier transform for the discrete time signal x of n will not exist. Now this is exactly like the Laplace transform concept, which is Fourier transform of continuous time function will exist if region of convergence of Laplace transform includes the j omega axis, the imaginary axis. Just like that, if ROC does not include unit circle, then Fourier transform will not exist. Now here, because the Z transform x of z on unit circle is the Fourier transform, so DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform of the discrete time signal x of n to exist, the Z transform's region of convergence must include unit circle, because on the unit circle Z transform will be equal to Fourier transform. So for DTFT of a discrete time signal to exist, Z transform's region of convergence must include unit circle. Now we'll try to obtain the Z transform of some generalized signals and try to define the region of convergence for those various signals. And the first signal that we'll be considering is defined as x of n equals to a to the power n u of n. Now this is an exponential signal which will be defined for n greater than or equal to 0. So the given discrete time sequence x of n will exist only for n greater than or equal to 0. That is, this is a right-sided sequence. So we know that Z transform is defined as x of z equals to summation n minus infinity to plus infinity a to the power n u of n multiplied by z to the power minus n. Now due to this u of n, the lower limit of the summation will be changed. X of z will be equals to summation n 0 to infinity because of u of n. U of n is the unit step function which will be existing from 0 to infinity. Its effect will be reflected on the limits of the summation. So lower limit on the summation will be 0 instead of minus infinity. And the terms inside the summation will be a to the power n, z to the power minus n. taking n common, the summation can be rewritten as summation n 0 to infinity a z inverse to the power n. And by the standard geometric series, the summation can be written as 1 divided by 1 minus a into z inverse. Now for this equation to be a finite value, the denominator value should be less than 1, and that value will be taken if magnitude of a into z inverse is less than 1, or if you send z inverse to the other side, it will be modulus value of z greater than modulus value of a. Now this condition, magnitude of z to be greater than magnitude of a, defines the region of convergence for this sequence. Now it means region of convergence by definition is the range of z for which summation converges, or summation will be having finite value. For this summation to converge, z values should be greater than the values of a, which is the value of the exponential signal defined. So if we draw the z plane, then we know that the region of convergence will always be a connected region. So we'll be drawing a circle with radius of a. Now this condition mod of z greater than mod of a means the region inside the circle are the values of z for less than a, and region outside the circle are the values of z greater than a. For this summation, or for this value x of z equals to 1 divided by 1 minus a z inverse to converge, z values are to be greater than a always. So region of convergence for the right sided sequence will be outside the circle of radius a. And if you look at this, x of z equals to 1 divided by 1 minus a z inverse. Now this is of the form transfer function. So roots of the numerator will be zeros and roots of the denominator will be poles. So we have 1 0 at z equals to 0 and 1 pole at z equals to a. And if mod of a is greater than 1, then discrete time Fourier transform does not exist, because region of convergence will not include the unit circle. Therefore, the z transform for the right sided sequence is defined as 1 divided by 1 minus a into z inverse, or we can simply rewrite it as z divided by z minus a, and the condition for the z transform to exist is z values are to be greater than a, mod of z greater than mod of a. Therefore, for right sided sequences, the region of convergence shall be outside a circle with radius a. It simply means for all the values of z which are greater than a, the summation will be having a finite value. Therefore, we define those values of z as the region of convergence for a particular sequence. So by this we understand, for a right-sided sequence, or for the sequence defined for 0 to infinity, the region of convergence will be outside the circle of radius a. The next sequence we'll be considering will be a left-sided sequence defined by x of n equals to minus a to the power n u of minus n minus 1. We'll apply z transform to this. Z transform will be defined as x of z equals to summation n minus infinity to plus infinity x of n z to the power minus n. Now in place of x of n, we'll substitute the left sided sequence. So the summation will be rewritten as minus of summation n minus infinity to plus infinity a to the power n u of minus n minus 1 of z to the power minus n. So including the or having the effect of unit step function on the limits of the summation, we can rewrite it as, because unit step function here exists only between minus infinity and minus 1, the lower limit on the summation will remain minus infinity itself, but the upper limit on the summation will change to minus 1 instead of infinity. So rewriting the summation to have include all those values, summation will be minus of summation minus infinity to minus 1 a to the power n z to the power minus n. So rearranging this or changing the limits, it can be rewritten as minus of summation, lower limit will be 1 and upper limit will be infinity, z divided by a to the power k. Now to convert this into standard geometric series, we'll include 0 in the summation and separate 1, because anything to the power 0 will be 1, so that value will be taken outside. Therefore, we can include 0 in the summation. So including 0 in the lower limit will get us 1 outside. So it can be rewritten as 1 minus summation k equals to 0 to infinity z divided by a to the power k. So writing the standard geometric series for the summation, z transform can be rewritten as x of z equals to 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus a inverse z. And for this z transform to have finite value, mod of a inverse z should be less than 1. Sending a inverse to the other side, we can rewrite it as modulus value of z less than modulus value of a. It means for this z transform to converge, all the values of z should be less than values of a. Or we can rewrite the z transform as x of z equals to 1 minus a divided by a minus z, or simplifying we'll get minus of z divided by a minus z, or rewriting it, z transform will be x of z equals to z divided by z minus a. But this time the region of convergence is values of z, mod of z less than mod of a. And if you plot the z plane, we'll be drawing a circle with radius a, and this time the region of convergence is inside the circle of this radius a, because for all the values of z less than a, the z transform for the left sided sequence will converge. The z transform of the left sided sequence will be having a finite value. So this time the region of convergence will be inside the circle of radius a. And if you look at the z transform expression for right sided sequence and left sided sequence, both are same. The z transform for right sided sequence and left sided sequence are defined as z divided by z minus a. But the region of convergence will define the nature of the discrete time sequence. If value of z, if they are to be greater than a, then the region of convergence will be outside the circle. If the values of z are to be less than the value of a, then the region of convergence will be the inside of the circle. So z transform for different signals can be same, but region of convergence will define the nature of those discrete time sequences. If region of convergence are different, then sequences will also be different. That's what the region of convergence mean. As a next example, we'll consider two-sided sequence defined as x of n equals to minus u of minus n minus 1 plus half to the power n u of n. So we have an exponentially decaying sequence between 0 to infinity, and we have an constant 1 from minus infinity to 1 minus 1. So applying z transform to this, we can rewrite the summation as summation minus infinity to plus infinity half to the power n u of n z to the power minus n minus u of minus n minus 1 z to the power minus n. So dividing summation between both the terms, summation n equals to 0 to infinity 1 divided by 2z to the power n. The lower limit will be made 0 because of u of n in the first summation, minus the second summation. Lower limit is minus infinity, upper limit is minus 1, because u of minus n minus 1 will exist between minus infinity and minus 1. 1 divided by z to the power n. And again, redoing this as for the left sided sequence, we can take 1 outside and include 0 in the lower limit. So for this z transform to converge, both these summations should converge. If you look at the x of z equation here, the first summation defines the right sided sequence and 1 minus the second summation defines the left sided sequence. So for this z transform to converge, both of these summations to converge are to be converging. So for first summation to converge, value of z should be greater than half, and for second summation to converge, value of z should be less than 1. So the region of convergence should be greater than half but less than 1, or for the value of z greater than half but less than 1, the z transform will converge. The z transform will be having a finite value, and this z transform can be further simplified to get x of z equals to z of 2z minus 3 divided by 2 divided by z minus half multiplied by z minus 1. And for this, the region of convergence will be defined for mod of z greater than half but less than 1. So to represent this region of convergence on the z plane, we'll be drawing two circles. First circle with an radius of half and second circle with an radius of 1. And region of convergence will be the region between both of these circles, because for this z transform to converge, z values are to be greater than half but less than 1, and that region is the region between the two circles. So there are, for the given z transform, there are two poles, one pole at half and another pole at 1, and there is 1 0 at 3 divided by 4, and the region of convergence is between half and 1. So based on the nature of region of convergence we studied for the three types of sequences, we'll try to define the properties of the region of convergence. And the first property of region of convergence is region of convergence cannot contain any poles. Region of convergence cannot contain any poles. As we have seen here, region of convergence can contain zeros, but region of convergence cannot contain any poles. That is the first property of region of convergence. And the second property is, if the discrete time sequence is a finite causal sequence, then the region of convergence will be the entire z plane except at z equals to 0. That is the second property. And the third property is, if the discrete time sequence x of n is a finite non-causal sequence, then the region of convergence will be entire z plane except at z equals to infinity. And the fourth property defines for the two-sided sequence. If a discrete time sequence is a finite double-sided sequence, then the region of convergence will be entire z plane except at z equals to 0 and z equals to infinity. So the entire region between z equals to 0 and z equal to infinity will be the region of convergence for two-sided finite sequence. And the region of convergence that we saw for the above three problems are the properties in itself. So the fifth property, if a discrete time sequence is causal infinite length sequence, then the region of convergence will be of the form mod of z should be greater than R max, where R max defines the largest magnitude of the pole of the Z transform. Sixth property, if discrete time sequence x of n is a non-causal infinite length sequence, that is if it is a left-sided sequence, then the region of convergence will be of the form mod of z less than R min, where R minimum is the smallest magnitude of any of the pole of the Z transform x of z. And if x of n is a two-sided sequence of infinite duration, then region of convergence will be of the form mod of z greater than R1 less than R2, like we saw in the last problem. And the eighth property of the region of convergence is the region of convergence of an stable linear time invariant system contains the unit circle in the z plane. For an linear time invariant system to be stable, the region of convergence should contain the unit circle in the z plane. And the last property of the region of convergence is region of convergence must be a connected region. So we'll be drawing a circle on the z plane. So region of convergence will always be a connected region. So these are the concepts. I hope all of you understood all the concepts that we studied for this day. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you all.